Hey, what's up everybody? This is a bit flashback.
Today I want to show you a custom project I've been working on, the Super GameBoy cartridge mod for the Roshambo Super Famicom retro gaming case. This is designed to work with the Raspberry Pi 3, RockPro 64, and Rock64 single board computers. So this is a 3D printed cartridge that I designed to make work with the Roshambo Super Famicom retro gaming cases. But instead of using Game Boy carts for interchangeable games, this uses 2.5-inch SATA drives. And if you are looking to print one of these for yourself, the files are available for free on Thingiverse, and I'll make sure to post a link down below. So with this mod, I have the option to play games from the micro SD card or from the cartridge, and this is the collection I currently have on my cartridge. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a Game Boy game to play, and we'll try this out. The original Super Game Boy was designed to work with Super Nintendo and Super Famicom consoles, and this allows you to play Game Boy games in color on the big screen. And that's what I'm simulating right here. With the use of emulation plus RetroArch and a custom overlay, I'm able to mimic what the original Super Game Boy looked like. And what makes the Roshambo cases nice for this mod is they're already designed to work with SSD cartridges that are available for purchase like this one, which are awesome, but as you can see they are slightly undersized compared to the case. And the reasoning for this is so you can use your own 2.5-inch SATA drive in the cartridge slot and have it be safely secured. So as you can see, it fits in there nice and snug, and it works great just like it is. But I wanted to make this look a little bit nicer and look like an actual cartridge. And I found out that if I tried to make this look like an original Super Famicom cartridge, that it'd be too tall, because as you can see, it's kind of short when it's in the cartridge slot. But after doing a lot of thinking and research, I remembered that the Super Game Boy cartridge is much taller, and this would make a lot better design for a cartridge case. And here's a look at the finished design. And as you can see, the Game Boy cartridge slot is a lot bigger on my design, and that's because the Game Boy games are a lot smaller than a SATA drive. But the outside of the cartridge shell is on the same scale as the Roshambo case, which is at about a 75% scale. And I also decided to go with a different label on the front just because I thought the one on the Super Famicom was kind of boring, and I wanted some more color. And I could also use a 2.5-inch solid state drive, but I got a bunch of these HDDs laying around and they're super cheap, so I figured I might as well use these. So the cartridge basically inserts the same way as the original Super Game Boy, except it's much larger. So to make this, I started off by 3D printing this. Then I had to sand this multiple times, and then paint this multiple times with filler primer and then sand it again. Then after that, I went ahead and painted it and finally added decals. And now the Super Game Boy cartridge is ready for a SATA drive. But it's still missing a little something, so for more realism, I decided to go ahead and print a label, and what better label than Super Mario Land. And to secure the SATA drive, I'm actually just using the mounting screws that came with it. And what I did is I made some notches on both sides of the Super Game Boy cartridge right here. And when that slides into the cartridge slot, it lines right up with those notches, and it secures it pretty good. And now I have a functional Super Game Boy cartridge with thousands and thousands of games. And when I want to change my collection, all I gotta do is switch out my hard drive and pop in a new one with a new collection. So the cartridge is now ready to put in my Roshambo Super Famicom case, but there's a problem, it doesn't fit. But that's an easy fix, all I have to do is detach the bottom. I've made this easily detachable just by the use of 2 pins and 2 holes. And now it'll fit inside that cartridge case slot opening, no problem. And when it's in that slot, it's now properly proportioned with the Roshambo case, giving it a nice custom look. Now it's not perfect, it does have some imperfections because it was 3D printed, but I'm happy with it. The Roshambo cases even feature an eject button that's functional, just like the original Super Famicoms. Okay, it is time for me to get out of here. If you enjoyed this video, if you could hit that like button. And also I'd like to remind you I am doing a giveaway for one Roshambo case for the Raspberry Pi 3, which includes 1 controller and 1 power supply as well. If you haven't entered for that giveaway, be sure to check out my video, and I will be giving away that case on May 22nd. And I'll make sure to post a link for that video down below in the description. Have yourself a great day, and I'll see you next time.